Hello and welcome back to Final Form Freaks SCR's Ranked Worst to Best with Matthew, Mike and John.
Hi everyone!
Oh.
This is the top three.
Yeah!
You can see we're all excited about it. And you look like death.
Brains. Give me brains.
No.
But yes, we're on the top three. We're very excited to get it done. So, in third place, we have the Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. So Matt will say what the description is of what the card is, and yeah.
Yep. Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, peak of primitive power. So it has ultimate energy exhaust, arrival blue-green for 3 blue, 2 green. When you play this card, choose one. If it's your turn, this card gains double strike, critical and triple attack for the duration of the turn. The other option is, if it's your opponent's turn, choose one of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, place it in its owner's drop, and add up to 2 energy from the top of your deck to your energy. I mean, no, that makes no sense. Add up to 2 cards from the top of your deck to your energy. Nailed it.
Nailed it. Yeah, there's a reason why we thought this deserved the number 3 spot. I think the card itself is great for obviously offensively and defensively. So you've got 2 options with it, with however you're going to make the deck and use this secret rare. Offensively, it's fantastic. Having the double strike, crit, and the triple attack with it is really, really good.
Yeah.
All them skills are fantastic. Even if it had triple attack and double strike, that would have been fine, wouldn't it? That's still good. But the fact that it has critical, everyone will probably agree. The fact that it had crit was probably the cherry on top. That's what made this, that extra spicy for it. And yeah, like I was just saying, like, you can go all out, go offensive and do a load of attacks with it, like what most people would. Or if you feel that you weren't able to go on the offensive and do what you needed to, at least you had an option to do something defensively with it. Obviously, you'll see the card on screen. The artwork is fantastic.
It is.
I love the artwork for this card. It's really, really nice. It's fairly affordable as well for a secret rare that we believe is the number 3 spot. Is there anything that you guys would say extra about it, or?
Yeah, it's just got being green-blue, it's got that variety. So sport for choice when it comes to negates, or if you want to be aggro with it, you can. Or, if you want to play defensively and ramp up your energy, you have that choice too. So it all depends what you're, sort of going for as an endgame mechanism, because some people might see that particular card as their endgame strategy, or it may very well be a stepping stone. Because if you're at 5 energy, sort of your opponent's turn, you manage to stall out, you add 2 more to your energy, well, you're up to 8 alone there. There's not many cards in the game that can't hardcast for 8 energy, or many chains that you can't get up with 8 energy.
Yeah.
So it's a good card, really good card.
Yeah. Well, Matt, you have this in your collection, and I've seen it used quite a few times. We've seen other people use it, obviously from different tournaments and over the other world and stuff like that. Other world.
Other world.
But yeah, I just think it's a great card. I think it deserves the third spot. I think it was better than the other cards that we had, in the previous list. I think it deserves it being number 3. I think it was better than the Super Saiyan 3 Scramble Secret Rare that we previously talked about. That didn't make the cut. Obviously, if you've seen the previous video, you know what we've been talking about with the other Secret Rares from before. But yeah, I think it's a great card. It's a lot to try and stop. The sheer amount of attacks, like saying, having 3 attacks just being double strike would have hurt. The sheer fact that it has critical on top of it is going to hurt you. No one likes taking crit, No. No one does. A lot of people try and stop it as much as they can. But having, 3 attacks, having to try and get rid of is pretty nasty. But yeah, that's on number 3 spot. Number 2, people might agree, will disagree, and that's the whole point of doing this list. We've had a lot of fun doing it. People have got different opinions, but this is what we thought was in the number 2 spot, and that is the Awakened Power. Matt will give the full description if everyone remembers. This is the Victory Strike, the OG. Yeah. But Matt will give the description, and then we'll go on from there.
Son Goku, the Awakened Power. EX Evolve 1 generic. Place 1 Universe 7 card from your hand in the drop area. So you then evolve on top of a Universe 7 Son Goku with an energy cost of 6 or more. Ultimate Victory Strike. This permanent, this card's attack cannot be, and skill cannot be negated.
Yeah, obviously you guys will see the card on the screen. This is like, well, the OG secret rare, isn't it?
Yeah.
Old school. It was used in so many competitive decks, and it still is used today. There's a reason why it's still the most expensive card. We'll go through its effects anyway. Yes, it is fairly, you have to do it over a Goku, and it has to be Universe 7, and you have to do it, over a certain cost. But the fact that this card is so much better than the Apex of Power is that the fact that its attacks can't be negated, whereas the Apex of Power, you could negate the attacks.
Yeah.
There's a lot more choices for Gokus, for Universe 7s now, thanks to the previous set having the red and blue Gokus and stuff, which is really, really good. I know John uses some of the red blue Universe 7 stuff as well. But yeah, it has, the whole Victory Strike text to it all. Victory Strike is a great thing to have. If this attack goes through, which most of the time it will, because you can't negate the attack. Yes, people will probably say in the comments, yes, there is ways to kill it, make sure that you don't die from it. But generally speaking, from that's if some buts and whatever, just going for the sheer factor of what this card can do, it's absolutely amazing still to this day.
Yeah,
and
great card, but like Mike just touched upon, it's number 2 for a reason. There's so much coming out now, there's so many ways you can stop the chain.
Yeah.
And it's, for what it is, I'd say it's probably overpriced. It's such an expensive card to get hold of. You're building a specific deck, and anybody a mile off, if they're going up against somebody, you can tell if they're going for a Victory Strike, and it's just so, like we say, it's easy to stop now. It's hard if they do get to play it. Yes, it can be troublesome, depending on what sort of deck you're playing. But most people have ways around it now. There's many ways around it now.
Yeah, there's a lot more ways to stop it now than there was
when it first came out, all that time ago.
Oh, geez Louise, like, even the sets that came out after when this got released, the secret rare and stuff, it was still one of the worst things about this was that when Shenron Wish Leader first came out, the fact that you could give this triple attack was redonkulous. When that got released, doing its final wish with this, because you didn't really have an out for it. Yeah, there were people that could try and combo out, but you're not going to combo out 3 times when it's going to swing at you. So, like I said, there's ways to stop. There's ways to stop all cards. All different secret rares and stuff like that. But there's definitely things that you can do now to stop it. We've had probably the most famous way to try and stop this, especially if you play yellow and green, is the 6-drop Broly that comes into play through Arrival, because Arrival's in the combo step.
Yeah.
So they could, go in with they could get Victory Strike out, go in for a swing, and you go, all right, okay, and then they combo like 150k, and it's like, okay, well, I'll just Arrival Broly, and now I'll just blow up the Victory Strike. And it's just like, well, yeah, cheers for that. I've done it to someone, and it's not nice, but that's the whole thing of the game. You know what I mean? That's what you do with certain decks, but it is still very strong. Yeah, it's oddly specific, but I still think it deserved the number 2 slot. It's definitely, obviously, it's not got the number 1 slot. Would have it been better than SS4 Vegeta? Some people may have argued about it, but the sheer fact that it still has, the Victory Strike text and everything else for it, if it goes through, that's it. If your opponent's not got a way to stop it, then that's it. You've won. So so now we come to the very last one to talk about,
First
which
place.
is our number 1 slot. I wish we could have a really big drum roll. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it is, well, what we've picked is the number 1 secret rare for our list is Black Smoke Dragon. And Matt will say the description of the card and everything, and we'll go into it. But yeah, Black Smoke was our number 1 pick, everyone. So yeah, I'll let Matt go into it.
So Black Smoke Dragon, Eternal Evil, ultimate and permanent. If this card can't attack, if you have 12 or more cards in your drop, reduce the energy cost of this card in your hand by 5. Activate main once per turn, choose 1. Choose all of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, send them to their owner's warps. Send the top 7 cards of your opponent's deck to their warp and draw 2 cards. Choose 4 cards from your opponent's hand and send them to their warp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a reason why this is number 1, guys. For many reasons. And we'll touch up on all of them, because we'll probably end up talking about a couple of things about this card. Number 1, clearly because of what it is, it's a black card that you can put in near enough any deck, and it's fairly cheap to get out. And that's probably the one good reason for it, is that it's that versatile that you can put it in any deck and it'll work. It'll work very well in most decks, regardless of what you make with it. The two choices of effects that it has are game changing depending on what your opponent is playing. Obviously now when we're coming into Dragon Ball Super card game, we're going to be going up to a 60 card deck. The fact if you've got this guy out and your opponent hasn't got a way to get rid of it or KO it, this guy is just going to either mill your opponent constantly, or you're going to strip cards from your opponent's hand. I've not played the card myself, but having either one of them effects on a card is amazing in my opinion. The fact that you can get rid of 7 cards from the deck, or you can get rid of 4 cards in hand. Yes, you don't get to see your opponent's hand, but the fact that it's 4 cards, it's still really, really good. Yeah, you can't attack with it. It is, a dead card that's left on your board. But if this card is still alive after turn, your opponent's not going to have a fun time with this at all. The artwork, obviously, you'll see on screen. The artwork is lovely. And the beauty thing about Black Smoke is that it's affordable, guys. It is pretty cheap, to be fair. For a secret rare, you're talking, some people probably sell it on eBay for like nearly 100 quid. That, for me, for this type of card, I would say, if you've got the money saved up, go out and buy it and have it in your collection, because I think that putting this in any deck will serve you some sort of purpose. You can put this in, a hand destruction deck, and if you've got this and you see it and you play it, it just makes it even better for you. If you play an aggro deck and you want to take cards out of their hand when you're trying to go for a game with it, putting this in the deck, serves its purpose. Having a deck that mills your opponent out constantly, and then you play this and you're milling even more, is really, really good. I can't see a downside to the card at all. But that's, I don't know what you guys think to Black Smoke, but that's my personal opinion that I've put out there. I just think it's that good of a card. Sadly, I haven't got it in my collection yet. Hence, yet. I will have it in my collection at some point. But I know Matt has built quite a few different decks and been using Black Smoke, and it's horrible when it's been used. I've seen other people play certain decks or online and stuff, and it just works, guys. It's just a really good card. There's nothing knocking it. Yeah, people could argue with the fact that, it doesn't have Victory Strike, or it doesn't this, or it doesn't do that, and you can't attack with it. Why? It's just because of the 2 effects. It's just so versatile. It's just great. Effects. It's just great effects. Yeah, and I just can't see a downside of it. People might argue that it's not number 1 and probably something else probably number 1, but each to their own opinion. What would you say, John, about our number 1 pick?
Yeah, it's a good card. It's sort of mid-range and price-wise, it's not the most expensive and it's not the cheapest card, secret rare that we spoke about today.
No.
Obviously, prices are going to fluctuate between cards, but that's a different story.
Yeah.
Effect-wise, I can't think of many decks where you wouldn't be able to slot this in and gain some sort of benefit from it.
Yeah.
Now, you could run, I don't know, let's say Goku Black and Zarasu. Now, you're doing an energy ramp, you could use the Black Smoke Dragon. Which effect you might go for. Board wipe, that could be a good one, depending on what you're trying to do. Personally, I'd choose 4 cards from my opponent's hand and send them to the warp, so that you're kind of putting pressure on them. And then on after that, I'd start trying to mill them out. So it can work you could slot it into a Kaioken deck.
Yeah.
Now, anybody that runs a Kaioken knows that Kaioken Goku's coming out. If you flip over that leader, you'll burst in 7. Now, the last thing anybody running a Kaioken deck wants to do is mill themselves out. So, Black Smoke Dragon comes in as well, turn 6 after you've got Kaioken out. Now the pressure's back on them. They're also trying not to be milled out. That's if, your first Kaioken doesn't go through.
Yeah.
Like I say, it can slot into most decks and have some sort of benefit, depending on which way you want to play it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
Depends.
That, like, you just made a couple of deck suggestions there, and it's like, if you really wanted to, and you could use it with the old Cell Chain, for instance. The old Cell Chain, you get the 7 drop out, they go down to 3 cards. The turn after, if you've managed to draw into Black Smoke, you could then play that the turn after, then they have 0 cards in their hand. Pretty much. Well, not 0 cards, they could still draw and do everything else, but it's making them stop doing the turns that they want to do, and then you can just keep ripping cards out of the hand if you want, or you can mill 7. It's entirely up to you. But like you said, I just think it works so well with many decks. Like you said, you got your Zamasu, Goku Black. Kaioken is really, really good. Like, I've play tested a deck online, and it was Freezer Prison with Kaioken and with Black Smoke Dragon, all in the deck. Which was horrific, because I stalled them out, I got Chain Attack Babidi out, and then the turn after I went into Black Smoke as well, because they tried to, because I just took certain cards out of their hand, and I left myself with a couple more cards for the turn after for, sorry, I'll rephrase that. Played Black Smoke and then played Kaioken, sorry, in that order. Because then you when you do the whole Kaioken effect, like you say, you can look at the hand, you've got hand knowledge, and then you've picked certain cards that you don't want, and then you're doing Black Smoke's effect as well, and then you're taking even more cards. It just makes it that much easier for you to get the end game, KO with it, which is really, really good. But yeah, I just don't see a downside to it. It's just a very, very good card. There's a reason why me and Matt have used it in decks and stuff like that, and tried it out, or when he's play tested it with other decks and so on and so forth. But yeah, I just think it's a great card. I think that it deserves being the #1 slot. Like what John just touched upon, yeah, it might not be the most cheapest secret rare, but it's in the mid-range. It's affordable. If you're going to save, your money up, and you weren't sure of buying a booster box, or if you knew someone who was selling it a bit cheaper, or maybe at your locals or something, someone said, "Oh yeah, I'll trade you for that," But yeah, I think it's a great card to have. I think if you can get it and get your hands on it, I think most people should get it for the collection. I think it's a really good secret rare to have. What would you say, Matt? Is there anything that you would like to touch upon?
No, there's nothing really to add there that's not already been said.
Yeah.
It's just, it's a good card. You can pretty much put it in any deck you want. The most success I've had so far is with Cooler.
Yeah, because Cooler's a lot of hand destruction and milling and stuff, isn't it? So, yeah.
And it draws as well when you mill your opponent's 7 cards. You actually get to draw 2 for yourself.
Yeah, there's just no downside to it, is there? I've just said there's no
all
downside.
3 effects have something. Like
they all serve a purpose of what they're going to do.
Because the first effect you can do if you go against Universe 11, as long as he's got a Universe 11 battle card out, Jiren can't take damage. You drop Black Smoke and get rid of them all.
Yeah.
Then you can swing with all the stuff you've got.
Yeah.
And obviously.
Yeah.
pretty much it.
Yeah. Well.
So that's our rankings.
Yeah, we obviously we're wrapping this up, but we hope you enjoyed our little series that we done for this, the secret rare. It'd be interesting to see what other people out there would do. You know, what your rankings would be.
Yeah, put all 18 in the comments.
Yeah, if you know, agree, disagree, or it'd be interesting to see if you make a video and let us know how yours got on. But yeah, there is other secret rares that are getting announced and stuff like that, and that's why we haven't added them into the list, because
But they're not out yet.
They're not out yet, so this will probably change in time. So we'll probably end up coming back to this and end up changing.
I imagine we'll come back to this eventually and do it again.
Be interesting. You know, we might do one for 2021 or something. You know, revisit the secret rares. But yeah, we hope you've enjoyed the video, guys, and you know, we've been trying to do as much content as humanly possible. Hopefully we're going to get some more Dragon Ball Supercard game deck battles, unboxings, all the good stuff, and we'll keep you posted with any new events and everything that happens in 2021 as well, let you know on our adventures. As always, guys, please keep safe, keep well, and like, share, subscribe.
All that jazz.
Always remember all that jazz. Ring that bell. Always remember our old hashtag, which is once a freak, always a freak. And thank you so much for all your support. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.